Hello, everyone. My guest today is Fritz Brumder. He is an internet strategist and entrepreneur and currently the founder and COO of a company called Brandlive, a SaaS live video platform used by brands and retailers to create highly engaging live content for marketing, training, and commerce events. He's been developing digital media solutions for the world's best brands for over 10 years. Fritz, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Do it. Tell us about this company. So what do you guys do and what's your revenue model? How do you make money?
Yeah, so first of all, our primary customers are brands and retailers, as you mentioned, and they're looking to find faster and better ways to engage with a variety of audiences. So everything from internal communication, employees, distribution partners, B2B audiences, and ultimately end consumers. And they're looking for a visual, real-time, interactive way to engage those audiences for whatever their story may be. And live video is the perfect arrow in the quiver for that. So we enable live video for those brands and retailers. Our revenue model is software as a service based. So we have a platform that our customers log into and they can manage and run these live video events as well as get analytics and reporting.
So walk me through how this actually works. I'm looking at the Pottery Barn example right now. It says summer entertaining, have lunch with Pottery Barn this Thursday at 12 p.m. And it looks like a video thumbnail or something with a name and an email opt-in. Which part of this is you?
100% of that. So we basically are a mini website builder or a meeting event builder. So some people might think of it as like a traditional meeting like you would have on Skype or GoToMeeting or something like that. But we provide that in much more of a social and web-based context, and mobile, of course, as well. It's really a mobile-first experience. So our customers use our admin console to be able to create the Pottery Barn example that you're looking at right now. So that would be modules and widgets that you can turn on and off, design customizations that you can turn on and off. It's, again, sort of like a website builder, or if you were building an event page on Eventbrite, for example, you could do a lot of similar things. There, it's for just registration and payment. For us, it's live video broadcasting and interactivity.
So, Fritz, people listening right now might just think, wait, I'll just embed my Facebook Live into a landing page, and that this works for that. How are you different?
Yeah, so first of all, I mentioned that our use cases and the audiences that our customers are utilizing live video to engage with are not only consumer facing, but they're also internal. So Facebook Live doesn't really work for that kind of scenario.
You mean like internal training?
Yeah, internal training and communication, like sales meetings, town halls, internal product launches, B2B sales events. B2B e-commerce is a big use case for us. So when you have a new product that you need to tell all of your buyers and customers about, you're not going to do that on Facebook Live. So a lot of our use cases you can't do that on social live video. For our consumer-facing events, we still do leverage social. So we have a simulcast strategy to a variety of social channels, including Facebook. But when you get people to your website, so we are primarily driving the owned and operated experience on Adidas.com or Walmart.com or something like that, PotteryBarn.com. So we're sort of the software engine that is enabling a live video experience on their website. When it's on their website, there's lots of different modules and features that they want to add to that experience, like product merchandising and e-commerce that you can't get with Facebook Live.
Got it. Interesting. Okay, very good. Walk me through pricing. So you said you're a pure play SaaS company. I don't want to go down every customer cohort, but on average, what's a customer pay per month or per year?
Yeah, so we have annual programs, and they range from the low $30,000 range up to mid $60,000 range per year.
Okay. Would you say that the lower end of that is a fair average, call it 30, 40 grand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And why would someone pay 30 versus 60? In other words, what do you use to drive expansion revenue?
Yeah, we have add-on features and modules, and then we also have services. So some of our customers need additional production services. For example, we have a group called Brandlive Production Partners. It's a global network of video producers that we have trained and educated on the workflow of live video, which is kind of Brandlive, but you could utilize that for Facebook Live or YouTube Live or Ustream or Livestream or anything like that. So we have kind of created it might sound cliche, but sort of the Uber of live video.
Fritz,
so
where is that? So when I travel to, like, I'm in Austin now, when I travel to New York and I want to do a Facebook Live, like live broadcast with like a DSLR camera and the whole setup and the lighting, I have troubles using Thumbtack to find video people that know how to plug into like OBS, into the Facebook Stream API, etc. You're saying you have people already trained in New York I could hire on the spot to do that?
Exactly. Yep. And right now that is exclusively for the Brandlive network.
You're such a tease. You're such a tease. You need to make that public.
But you can utilize it for other stuff too. So like I said, these people are trained and educated on the workflow of live video. It doesn't matter if you're broadcasting to
Why make it private though? Why not? I mean, that to me sounds like a very interesting idea to actually open up to the public. Why haven't you opened that up?
That's why I came on this podcast, to get some new ideas.
I mean, is it something you're seriously considering?
Yeah, we've looked at it, but there's obviously, as an entrepreneur, you have to have focus, and we're serving our customers really, really well. And the people that would leverage that kind of network is a totally different kind of customer. So yeah. We have multiple different new business models or expansions to our business model. That's one of them.
How many video professionals are in that network, like across cities, across the US?
Yeah, globally we have 40. So it's not massive.
So there's a real issue if you open it up to the public that all of your inventory would get used up by people potentially that are not Brandlive customers, which would be an issue.
Yeah, we are one-on-one training these folks because our customers are enterprise, so we expect that when they go on site, they're real professionals and they know every single step in the process.
Yep.
And therefore the price, for like to produce a, 1-day event is around the $5K range just for the production services.
Yep. That makes sense. What have you scaled to? How many customers are using you today?
We have over 100 enterprise subscriptions.
Okay. And just to be clear, that's not, people cheat that question sometimes. That's not like free and pay. Those are all paying customers.
Yeah. 100. For us, an enterprise customer is over $12,000 per year because we had kind of scaled our pricing up. The average is over $30K now, but some of those customers are about $1,000 per month. And then we have another 100 or so customers that are using us like for one-time campaign events, or we have a few customers that are nonprofit organizations and stuff like that fall underneath that $1,000K. $1,000 a month. So,
but just to be clear, the 100 you just gave me, those are your enterprise folks, more than $30,000 per year in revenue.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. I mean, So can I back into a minimum there, right? 100 times that $30,000, per year minimum, that puts you at about what, $250,000 per month minimum? Is that about right?
Yeah, we're actually more than that, but yes.
Yeah. Again, just minimum. I assume you could be well north of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
What percent? So that's a $3 million annual run rate. I mean, is that your largest revenue stream, or are there other things that eclipse that, like your services products?
We do have services on top of that, but they don't eclipse that. They're just additive to that.
Yeah, that's great. Now, a lot of times people will add, go ahead.
Nothing. I was just going to say, we've submitted to the Inc. 500 or Inc. 5000 the last couple of years, so we do have some revenue numbers published out there.
Oh, great. What are those? Do you mind sharing just to save me from looking them up?
We're just over 4 million this year.
Okay, but that's SaaS plus services.
Yes.
3 million of that is pure play SaaS.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit more. Yes.
Okay, but somewhere around there. That's great. Now, a lot of times people might ding your valuation because you're a mix of professional services, which is typically lower margin than pure play SaaS. But I would actually argue the counter, which is if you put services on top of the pure play SaaS, it makes that SaaS stickier. So lifetime values increase. 2 questions. 1, do you agree with that? And 2, what is your churn today?
Yes, I totally agree with what you just said. I think the services not only increase the value that you're delivering to the customer, and therefore they're willing to spend more with you and stay with you longer. And then I also think that it's a false assumption that services aren't scalable. Our Brandlive production partner network, like you mentioned, could be scaled wildly, right? We could have online training tools to get production people up to speed, and we could then transfer that to a totally separate business model that could scale very quickly, like a TaskRabbit type of thing. And I'm not fearful of that, and we've been able to communicate that to investors as well. And then our retention is, right in sort of industry standards. So We don't publish our retention numbers, but
yeah, when you say industry standard, I mean, are we talking like 80-90% yearly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, gross. Not
Gross.
Net positive, over 100%.
That's great. How far over 100? Are we talking like 120 or 105?
Closer to 105. Yes.
Okay, that's good though. So north of 100% net revenue retention annually, meaning your expansion revenue more than outpaces any lost revenue. That's obviously a really healthy place to be. You just mentioned your ability to communicate with investors. So have you raised capital, and if so, how much?
Yeah, we've raised 4.8 million.
And when was that first round?
Late 2013 we closed, and hit the ground running early 2014.
So is that pre-revenue? You raised that first round?
We actually were a spin-out product, so we had a little bit of revenue. We had just under 200K in revenue at that time, and we were basically a product inside of another company. And then in 2016, May 2016, we raised 3.2 million.
Okay, so give me the day
seed.
one.
Day one was 2014. Okay. Yep.
And then you raised
January. And then that was 1.6 seed round. And then 3.2 was May 16.
Yep. Good stuff there. All right. And talk to me, it sounds like you've already published this, but talk to me about growth. So if you're at kind of 3 million pure SaaS ARR today, where were you exactly a year ago in August 2017?
I don't know that off the top of my head, but our ARR growth is over 70%.
Okay, so yeah, if it's 70% year-over-year growth, that means what? You would have been about 160 grand, something like that, about a year ago per month.
That's about right.
Yeah, that's great. And is most of the growth coming from adding new customers or from expansion revenue?
Adding new customers predominantly. Yes, new customers.
And where are you finding those folks? Which channels, and specifically, what are you willing to pay to acquire one of them?
Yeah, we have a direct sales model that is vertical based. And so we're expanding our verticals. We started a lot in kind of home consumer products, outdoor products, basically anything that you would find at REI or Cabela's or something like that. Our new verticals are things like healthcare is a growth category for us. We're really excited about that. Auto is another
Fritz,
one.
I have never heard anyone say they are really excited about anything remotely close or even related to healthcare. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the exciting thing about healthcare, though, is there's obviously a tremendous amount of change that needs to happen, and they're very slow to adopt digital. And we think that there's a lot of opportunity for one-to-many healthcare delivery models, both communication and service delivery. So one of the more exciting aspects of healthcare right now is online healthcare, and they're just utilizing, Skype or Zoom or something like that. But those business models are going to evolve heavily.
Do you have to worry about like HIPAA compliance?
You do for service delivery, yes.
Yeah. That's a whole big interesting thing to jump into. Okay, so what is CAC today? Are you spending 15 grand to acquire 30 grand a year customer? What's CAC?
No, we're just over $1 per $1 in sales and marketing cost per dollar of ARR per year.
That's great.
We're even in year one, and then lifetime value is over multiple years, of course.
What do you right now peg a lifetime value to?
Well, I know off the top of my head, our LTV to CAC ratio is over 3.
Okay. So if you're spending, $1 spend for $1 of new ARR, and your average, your minimum contract there is called 30 grand a year. So you spend 30 grand to acquire, you're saying it's at least 90 grand in terms of lifetime value.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. Let's last question here. Last time you raised, it sounds like was about a year ago. Are you considering raising capital right now?
Yeah, we've talked about it. I mean, fortunately, we've always been a really solid business model. Our unit economics are strong. And so we're pretty close to cash flow positive right now. We're in control of our own destiny. We're going through some kind of changes in the market and looking at potentially some consolidation. And
you would be buying some other companies, or someone would be buying and rolling you up?
Both buying, merging, partnering. Not merging.
Yeah.
Buying or partnering.
If you did raise, how much would you want to raise?
over 7 million.
And why? Where would you spend it?
It would be vertical expansion, sales and marketing predominantly, although there's a lot of product opportunities as well. Audience acquisition is a big white space for us. You know, in order to have successful live video events.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I spend a lot of money on Amp Live to juice my live events. And it's really interesting. They basically have a display network for when you go live, they'll launch these things instantly and drive your traffic. You're considering launching something like that maybe?
Well, actually Amp Live is one of our partners. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I know. We know them very well.
So you should buy them.
Maybe.
Who's bigger? I don't remember what their numbers are.
We're bigger.
Okay, there you know the numbers. All right, very good. So you think about raising 7 million, and break down your team for me today. How many team members total, and where are you guys based?
Just over 30 team members. Majority of them are in Portland, although we have San Francisco, Utah, and East Coast.
Utah, East Coast. Very good. Good. So thinking about raising potentially, we'll see what happens there. Very good, Fritz. Let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what is your favorite business book?
I have so many, but Linchpin, Seth Godin.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
I've been listening to Freakonomics, and they had a great 5-series episode interviewing 5 different CEOs. And the woman from Pepsi, who actually just retired or resigned, she was impressive.
There you go. Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have for growing your business?
I don't. There's too many to list one.
And number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I try to hit 8.
Okay. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married, 2 kids.
And how old are you, Fritz?
Just turned 40.
Yeah, the big 40. I love it. All right, last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Oh, man. I used to say it takes longer than you think, so be patient and stick with it. But now I'm starting to get impatient again. I want things to happen faster, but you realize like businesses just don't become something great overnight.
Yep.
It's a 10-year process, and that's hard to stomach sometimes.
Try and stay patient. Fritz launched Brandlive in 2014 to really help mainly home kind of good consumer goods services. Think about things in REI, et cetera. Do live video, whether that's, REI launching their new owned licensed product, or Pottery Barn, and they want to launch to suppliers. They wouldn't do that on Facebook Live. They wouldn't do that on GoToWebinar because it's too private. So Brandlive allows them to set up a landing page specifically for that with nice social engagement. They've got 30 people in remote locations, mainly in Portland, San Fran, Utah, on the East Coast, building this tool. They've got about 100 customers paying, call it $30,000 per year minimum, so $250,000 per month in revenue, passing $3 million in pure play SaaS, $4 million though in total revenue when you add services back on top of it. Economics are really healthy, flirting with 105% net revenue retention annually, 80 to 90% gross revenue retention, spending about $1 on CAC for a new $1 in ARR, so healthy 12-month payback period there. $4.8 million raised, considering a potential raise right now, growing about 70% year over year. Fritz, thanks for taking us to the top.
Sounds good. Thank you.